Some Mother's Son is one of many Irish movies that looks at the conflict between the IRA and the British presence in Northern Ireland. Specifically, it looks at a point in the late 70s and early 80s when a group of IRA prisoners protested against their criminal status by going on a hunger strike. The movie was written and produced by Jim Sheridan, who also directed In the Name of the Father, My Left Foot, and The Field. The movie stars Helen Mirren and Fionnuala Flanagan as two mothers of young men who are both involved with the IRA. The British government, under Prime Minister Thatcher, have taken a very hard line against the IRA in the name of bringing down what they see as terrorism. Many on the opposite side of things claim that the IRA are soldiers in a war, which prompts them to claim political prisoner status when arrested. David O'Hara and Aidan Gillen play the sons of Flanagan and Mirren, and they both get caught up in the famous hunger strike initiated by Bobby Sands. John Lynch plays Sands as a man prepared to die for his beliefs, and he's seen as either a hero or as a man who encourages terrorist activities. We also see Tom Hollander as the British government's representative. We see Ciarán Hinds as Danny Boyle, the Sinn Féin representative, and the very underrated Irish actor John Kavanagh as a cardinal who delivers mass to the Catholic prisoners. The story follows the two mothers as they contemplate how far they're willing to go in assisting their sons. Flanagan is a more radical figure, having already lost a son to the conflict. Mirren, however, is more shocked by this hatred and cannot understand what motivates her son to embrace what is arguably the slowest and most painful way to commit suicide. The opposing sides haggle and argue, neither wanting to back down in front of the other. Meanwhile, the young men in prison take drastic actions in the name of their beliefs. While many would say that there is a strong bias in favor of the Irish side in this movie, I don't think it's as strong as people might think. As much as the British are portrayed as very cold and cruelly unflinching in the face of these men dying, it's very arguable that they're simply trying to stop a minority terrorist group. Meanwhile, the IRA are often depicted as violent cowards, especially in one scene where thousands of women and children are in the middle of a peaceful procession only to have several IRA youths use them as human shields while striking at the British soldiers watching on. I'm not sure how much of this movie was factually accurate, but it is based on true events. Both sides continue to provoke each other to violence throughout the film, neither side winning anything that resembles a moral high ground. In an especially symbolic scene, you have a troupe of young women learning traditional Irish dance in their classroom, while the young male protagonists of the movie use an RPG to bomb a British vehicle. As the Irish soundtrack plays on, the scene cuts from one group to the other until the explosion of the vehicle shatters the peaceful classroom into evacuation. All this is what makes the conflict in Some Mother's Son so firmly established. The struggle between the IRA and the British government is given a much more human face when it focuses on the relatives of those involved and what they have to go through. It's certainly a movie that's hard to find nowadays, but it's well worth watching if you do find it. I won't say much else on the whole issue because I'd probably get hundreds of furious messages on this video regardless of what I say, but I will say this. It's a dark and terrible day when any individuals, or even whole societies, place a belief or an ideal over human life.
And as it soars o'er the island, it finds